Good morning, Axe here. I want to give you an update on BTC and where we're at for the day and where I think we go from here. It is Tuesday and Bitcoin is climbing. If you look back to last week's videos, you will see that we were in this area where I chose to long. And just now I closed out of my long position just because I'm anticipating potentially a pullback in this zone. If I was a more experienced trader, a more skilled trader, I would wait until I receive some level of confirmation in this zone, but I'm still learning. My methodology or reasoning for closing out my trade right now is because it's Tuesday and I've already well exceeded my weekly profit goals for the week. So, if this dips down here, I will lose that opportunity. So I could put a stop, somewhere below here, but I kind of wanted to just get out in this zone, and I'll tell you why in a second. Zooming out, we, are have traded into this daily bearish fair value gap where I would anticipate maybe even if price goes higher, it could turn around. Looking at the main last leg down, we're excluding this little wick here, we are in the premium zone. So between the 50% and the 0.618 retracement for this leg. So what does that mean? Well, it could mean that we go, we come up here and we reject and we come down lower and get a lower low in here down just below 100 maybe, and then we go back up to all new time highs. Or none of that happens and we just keep continuing onto all-time highs from here. Either are just fine. Something that, of course, we like to do here is lay out what our Monday range is, which I have not done yet. We'll do right here now in real time. So this is our Monday here, so let's lay out those ranges. You have the top here, and you have the bottom here. So this is our Monday range, okay? And we have a lot of lines going on here. So this 116 is a key level and something that I would be expecting price to displace through to show a strong continuation. We didn't get that. We wicked above it. Okay, so that could be an SFP, a swing failure pattern, and we could be trading down lower. But now we're here in this yellow box, and I'll explain that in a second. This right here was also a key level, this 114. We came up, we displaced through it on the daily, and we kept going, which is great, which shows some strength. But we have also left this fair value gap in here. So looking at this last leg up to here, we have 111 and a half, 112 area, this fair value gap, maybe even dip down into here. I could foresee maybe we continue higher from here. Maybe we dip down into here. Maybe we continue higher and closer to like the 0.618, and then this becomes a quick wick into the discount here. I don't know. Am I regretting closing out my trade? A little bit for the long, but I'd rather secure profit. I'm okay with that. So basically where we're at on the hourly is what I was seeing here, and the reason why I decided to close out of the trade was because if you look here, we have this line here, the 114.813. This is the last down, we'll call it lower, higher low. I always get that wrong. The last higher low before displacement up to break this internal liquidity high to come up to here on the hourly before that swing failure pattern to then come down. We didn't break through that structure. We wicked through it. We didn't really displace through it until here. And then here we displaced through that, showing that the market is potentially bearish. Okay. So we have a potentially short-term bearish swing. Now this could have just been a wick down into this order block here, right? So an order block here, going up, but it broke through. So this could have just been a wick down into this area, and now it's going to go higher. and that's fine, that could happen. But if this is a true bearish, this is the last up candle before the down move that broke market structure. So we would expect price to maybe turn around in this yellow box, if it is going to turn around. So if it does turn around, I would expect it to then come down here and maybe, go towards these lows somewhere in here, 112, and then hopefully reverse. But in my opinion, we're currently showing hourly bearish market structure, which is why I closed out my position. And I'm waiting for this to confirm, are we going to go higher, which is fine. I'll look for a re-entry on the long, a dip before we get back up to all-time highs, or are we going to go lower here? And if we do go lower in this areas, I'd be looking for a lower time frame market structure shift to then get back in long. But for now, I wanted to secure my profits for the week. We got a whole bunch of lines going on here. I'm going to delete some because it's a little much. But here we go. So also from a Monday range perspective, you can kind of see we dipped below the Monday low, which is pretty typical. You dip below the Monday low, you can then long up to the Monday high. So we could see easily also up to here, swing above this again, and then dip down below. There's multiple different things we can see happen here, but in general, I still think it's highly likely that we're probably going to go higher, but I kind of want to dip lower into this zone before we go higher. I also think that it's possible that if we dip lower and we don't see any change in market structure for a reversal, we could just keep going lower here. And all of a sudden we're back into these ranges, and then we're just going for it, and we're going down to 98. We have a big week this week. FOMC is tomorrow. We're expecting a rate cut. We're expecting other things to come out, so there's opportunity for some big news that could impact some things here, and maybe some of that gives us a dip. But personally, I kind of like being flat with all of that because price tends to swing pretty violently during those times, and knowing that I've already made my profit for the week, I can kind of sit back and watch the madness with some popcorn and see what happens. But I am looking for an entry for another long to get back in. I just wanted to lock in some profits. So I did really crush this though. I started off trading right here, and I got this whole leg up with pretty significant profit, so that's great. So I think, and as you know, I got this, if you watch our earlier videos, I got this whole leg down with a short. I think I closed out in here and then missed that move, but then got back in here for a long. So this is a decision area for sure. If we can get above 116, reclaim it, I think we're going to be looking good for all-time highs, and I'm going to be looking to re-long. But if not, then I think we go down further down. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for listening.